Hey guys, Chris Hayre with you on the Backstage Chargers podcast presented by Toyota. My guest this week is running back Justin Jackson. It's always great catching up with Justin. We relive some of the biggest moments from last season, including Justin's monster fourth quarter against the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. I know everybody remembers that moment. We also talked about his draft story exactly 1 year ago and closed with a little TV and Game of Thrones talk. All right, welcome into the Backstage Chargers podcast presented by Toyota. Off-season workouts, week 2, with the birthday boy, Justin Jackson. How are you, man? Happy belated.
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. Appreciate you having me on. I'm 23 now. Feeling old.
23. Come on, man.
Body feels old, man.
Don't even,
I'm telling you.
Don't even go there, bro. Don't even go there, man. How'd you celebrate?
I just hung out with my sister and their boyfriend, so that was fun. We were in LA. We went out in LA, which was fun. And then yesterday they both came down, and we went to this really good hibachi place, and it was a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You said you spent some time in Chicago too. I think I talked to you when you said it was the polar vortex.
Yeah.
So probably not the best weekend to be there, but nonetheless, it's home.
It is home. Home is where the heart is, but not where the body wants to be. In the case of Chicago. I came back actually that Sunday, and the polar vortex was Tuesday, Wednesday. So terrible idea by me. But you know what? You live and you learn. And it is something I experienced. I experienced negative 40-degree weather on my skin.
Did you go outside at all?
I did. I went outside. I actually went outside without a shirt for 30 seconds. And here's my reason.
Was it a dare?
No, it wasn't. But this is what I'm thinking. So you always got to be thinking ahead, right? So here I'm sitting here thinking, if I go out here and I feel what this is like on my skin, I could never be cold in a football game. I could never be cold because, it's not as cold as that. So there's a method behind my madness. It probably won't work, but, whatever.
You're like week 17 at Kansas City this
exactly.
year. You never know.
It could be negative 40.
It could come in handy.
You never know.
Can you believe we're back?
I know. It's wild. It's wild. It went fast, but it didn't. I don't know. It's crazy. I'm sitting here thinking about the 3 months we had off, and obviously a lot of people travel, and, you're working out and all this stuff, and then literally all of a sudden you're back, and it's like, it happens so fast. But honestly, personally, I'd much rather be here working out with the guys, talking to the guys, hanging out with the guys, than everyone else, split doing their own thing. I think it's much more fun that way.
How would you describe your first season in the NFL? So much has happened over the last 360 plus days.
Yeah, I literally, April 23rd, sitting here thinking about where I was last year at this point, and everything that's happened in between. It was an incredible ride. A lot of downs and a good amount of ups too. But I think that's with any rookie year, with any first year going to anything, there's a lot of changes.
But didn't the downs make the ups much more sweet?
Exactly. And that's life in general. I think when you go through adversity, especially when you could do it with a great group of guys like we had, and the coaches and all the trainers who helped me get through everything and everyone. It just makes it that much more sweeter to have, really moments of great highs and being able to make the playoffs, win a playoff game, and just experiencing all that in your first year. A lot of people don't experience that, if ever, maybe once or twice in their career. So I got to experience it in my first year, so I'm extremely fortunate and very, very happy.
Justin, it's not like, you were a 7th-round pick. It's not like you didn't see the field, too. I mean, when you did see the field, 2 of those games were probably the biggest of the year on a national stage. What was the biggest moment for you personally? I have to imagine Pittsburgh comes to mind first.
Yeah, that was obviously a great moment, not only for myself, but just for our team. Coming back now, we were down 16 and really didn't, we didn't have any energy, no momentum, nothing going into halftime, and just coming out and knowing that we're only going to have a few possessions, so we got to get it going.
Make the most of them.
Exactly, and just being able to go in there and make an impact and do something to help us, get back. And obviously my first touchdown was when, we ended up tying the game, and we had all the momentum. It just felt so good to be able to contribute, because I felt, and I actually was talking to my brother a few weeks before, I just feel like I could be contributing more, I could be doing more, and I'm just working within the system and doing my best and practicing on special teams, but I feel like I could be doing more. And he said, just keep at it, just keep going, just keep working, all this stuff, and you'll get your opportunity. And a few weeks later, I got that, and I'm just happy I could go out there and help the team.
Well, our fans, I know that they'll love to relive that second half, because if I recall, It was Desmond's punt return.
Yeah.
And the 2-point conversion that tied the game. And then you had that drive of all drives, man. You were catching the rock. You were running. You were getting big clips of yardage. You go ahead. The Chargers go ahead 30-23 on your touchdown. That drive had to have been like, all right, I'm here. I'm in the NFL.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I didn't even remember we went ahead. I thought we tied it at that point. You see how for us, like,
it's like a blur.
All these moments are blurs, right? So you're just in the moment, you're just playing. But yeah, I mean, like you said, Desmond's punt return was just a great moment for us, and then obviously my touchdown. So it was like, wow, what a half it was. Literally night and day, tale of two halves between the first half and second half. But it was just an amazing moment. And like you said, for the fan base, for us to be able to do that on national TV against a great Pittsburgh team, that was fun, man.
That was just like, hey, the Chargers are here now,
yeah.
Right? And then 2 weeks later, the Kansas City game, I see Mike was just at the podium, Mike Williams. He had that unbelievable game, but you would churn out some tough yards in that game.
Yeah,
I think you had like, what was it?
Tough,
it was like 57 yards, but you had touchdown in the fourth quarter to keep the Chargers in it and then eventually win it.
Yeah, that was another game, man. Like, we had been in a lot of these games throughout the year. And we had, we started, obviously tough start, but even the first few games were super close. Kansas City game, first game was really close.
Yep.
Including and the Rams game. So we had been working our way back, and we had been on a winning streak, and we had been doing so well. And so it was good. It was kind of a culminating experience for our season up until that point, because we had finally hit our stride and started, doing a lot better, and we were getting attention. We were doing this on national TV. And then to play against a division rival and to be able to go in their place and win it how we did was just man. That game was just
so. Just after I remember, I think I talked to you after the Pittsburgh game. And I didn't think we were going to see a game like that again.
Right.
And then 2 weeks later, it gets topped somehow, some way in Arrowhead. Man, I don't think you can really describe going to a hostile environment in December. Beating the Steelers at Heinz Field, then beating the Chiefs at Arrowhead, man, it's like storybook stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, yeah, definitely happy that we could have that experience. I'm really, excited about this year, too, because I think we have actually a fairly, other than, like, Phil, right, we have, and Bain, we have, a young team. So for us to experience that, go to playoffs and fight through all the adversity throughout the season and come back feeling, confident, but knowing that we have to rebuild everything, but knowing that we have the guys in the locker room to do it, I think that makes everyone, including the fans and everyone, very excited for this year.
Going into year two and knowing that you have guys like Melvin and Austin in that running backs room and Detrez, it's got to make you feel like, hey, I could take my game to even higher levels in year two, just knowing that you have guys who've been there, done that in the room with you.
Definitely. I think we all feed off of each other. Obviously we're all competing, but I don't think a lot of people can understand the type of chemistry we have in our room, led by a guy like Mel and Watt. They're their two oldest guys, but they're very young. I mean, neither of them are over 25, I don't think, so, we're all young. We all connect with each other, we all...
And you all want success for each other, which is awesome.
Right, exactly. And that's what, obviously, like I said, we're all competing against each other, but we feed off of each other's success. We're happy, because of each other's success. And each other's success gives us more confidence, which, I think... just it pushes you to a higher level, like you were saying, and that's why I feel so confident going into year two. I'm kind of, all the dust has been wiped off, and I feel like I can be me and I can go in there and compete and just play my game.
All right, guys, before we get to the second half of my conversation with Justin Jackson, a reminder that AT&T has dropped NFL Network from AT&T UVerse and DirecTV Now. This means fans may miss out on live coverage of the NFL Draft. Go to iwantnflnetwork.com to find a provider today. That's iwantnflnetwork.com. Just talking to you last year, too, it's evident that the little things matter to you and have really gotten you to where you are today. I mean, we talked about you sitting in those special teams meetings at Northwestern and playing special teams here. What do you have to do personally in year two to raise your game? Is there anything you're specifically working on?
Yeah, I mean, it's wholesale, really. Like I said, I think I understand the league and the game a lot more now. Obviously, still have more to learn, but just watching, learning, being out there, experiencing it, you develop an appreciation for the details, and so that's what I went into this offseason. Like, I want to work on the details. I want to work on, balance. I want to work on, my vision. I want to work on my cutting ability. I want to get stronger, my explosiveness. All these little things that go into being a great football player. And then once you get on the field, it's just not thinking, just letting it all go. And going out there and playing it. And that's really how we all got to this level, is just going out there and playing our game and being ourselves.
Yeah.
You work, you develop the habits and practice and stuff, and then you just play. And so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Sundays is supposed to be the easy part, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking forward to doing this year, and it starts now. Being here, and then OTAs and all that happens in between. But it's a good starting point.
Take me back to exactly a year ago, a couple of days before the draft. Where were you, and then what was that weekend like for you? Where were you watching it, and just how did everything transpire in your eyes?
I was at home, with my family. I think Thursday's the first day, and then Friday and Saturday, just sitting at home watching the draft.
Hurry up and wait.
With my phone next to me, and I always say this, the draft is, for guys who, are, mid to late round picks, you're not really sure where you're going to go. It's the worst few days ever until it's not, until you get that call, until you know where you're going, until you have certainty that you're going to get.
Just a lot of anxiety, just a lot of waiting, right?
Exactly. So it was the worst day ever until it wasn't. Then it was the best day. So, obviously the Chargers taking a chance on me. I was very, excited, very happy. It was towards the end of the draft. I wasn't sure if I was going to get drafted, so I was kind of gearing up to kind of go through this an 30-hour, recruiting process again, which I wasn't.
You were probably
prepared
almost
for.
in that window, right? Where because you were selected 251, so you were almost in that window of hey, if I don't get drafted, teams are probably calling, your phone's probably ringing off the hook. Where am I going to go?
Yeah, I'm calling my agent. My agent's calling, all these different teams. We're trying to talk. It's like the wild, wild west. I'm telling you, it's just crazy. But to finally, have that monkey off your back when you're like, oh, this team selected me, and obviously they want me, and I don't have to make this rush decision on where I want to go.
Yeah.
No, that was very exciting for me, and it couldn't have been a better team.
What's wild about the draft process is we put so much stock into it. There's so much content around it. There's so many mock drafts. There's so many experts that think they know everything.
And it never ends up happening like that.
And then guess what? You come here and you're one of 90, and then you're one of 53.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Look, Austin's a great example.
Yep.
Badgley's a great example. Michael Davis, Adrian Phillips, undrafted guys. Great example of guess what? When you get to the facility, you're a player. You better earn your keep.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people, and obviously there's a lot of money and there's a lot of TV rates, there's a lot of everything in mock drafts and the draft itself, but when it comes down to it,
it's fun for fans.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
is.
an exciting
it gets
part.
them involved.
It's an ultimate soap opera, but at the end of the day, it's real life.
Yeah, when you get here, like you said, you're one of 90, you're one of 50, you have to prove yourself, and it doesn't matter where you were drafted. I think some people who are drafted earlier might have a little bit more leeway, but when you come in, you got to work hard, you got to prove yourself, and that's why you see most of the league is made up of late round picks to undrafted free agents, because you come in with a chip on your shoulder and you just work your butt off. Like you said, Adrian Phillips is a prime example. He's an all-pro Pro Bowler last year, and I don't think he was drafted.
He was undrafted.
And he's one of the leaders on this team, so he's just a great player. Great example.
Tom mentioned in his press conference at the end of the season, he had to release Adrian 8 times.
Yeah.
So talk about perseverance,
exactly.
Staying in the league, and AP. I talked to him last week. He still has bigger goals.
Oh yeah,
he wants to achieve a lot more, including getting a ring here with you guys.
Yeah, and that's how you get to the level he's at. Is you're never satisfied. You're always looking to better yourself. You're always looking for more. And I think we have a lot of guys on this team, and that is really a microcosm of our team. Is we're always looking for more. 2 years ago, before I got here, I think they were 8-8 or 9-7, something just right outside making the playoffs.
9-7.
Last year, we have a great year. We win our first round game, and we lose our second round game. So we're looking, to improve upon that. And I think when you gain all this knowledge and all this experience with the team we have and a lot of guys still here, I think we can, build upon that.
You're a great example of this too, because when the schedule comes out, we foolishly go through and be like, oh, that's a win, that could be tough, blah, blah, blah. At this point last year, Justin Jackson wasn't on the Chargers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We didn't know Justin Jackson was going to help win a game in Pittsburgh and Kansas City. We didn't know he was going to go 7 for 57 against the Cardinals. So there are going to be some guys coming in here next week.
Yep.
They're going to help your ball club. You don't know who they are yet.
Exactly. And that's why, you really have to take it it is year by year. You know, you have a lot of continuity with guys coming back, but every team is different every single year. So that's why you go into it, and every single team early in the season is playing their butt off, and every single game's tough. Obviously, once you get towards the later in the year, you know, kind of playoffs start to shape up. But when you first start, man, it's you don't know who's going to be the best team. You have no clue. So you go in fresh, and I think that makes, you know, you compete even harder, and it makes it really entertaining.
Yeah, and it's almost for you, it's like you give back. You know, I remember you talking about how Melvin and Austin kind of took you guys under their wing.
Yeah.
It's almost like paying it forward now, because
right.
regardless of position, there's going to be a 5th, 6th, 7th rounder, undrafted guy want to come in here and prove themselves. Yeah. They're going to look to you as motivation.
Right. Exactly, and I think when you have guys like Mel, guys like Austin, Watt, who come in and are helping the younger guys, you know, a guy like Jalil, you know, who's not here anymore, but was helping. I could see how much he was helping Derwin, help build him up.
No doubt.
And when you have guys like that on your team, it makes your team that much more cohesive, and I think that's really a reason why a lot of our younger guys like Chinna, like Kaiser before he got hurt, you know, like myself, like all of us came in and we were able to produce when we got on the field, because we felt confidence from our teammates and we didn't feel alienated. And that's what's great about this organization is with the younger guys and with the older guys, there's a lot of cohesiveness, and there's, you know, I think our team chemistry is there, and that's why we were able to build so much last year and be successful, and I hope that we could build upon that this year.
Yeah, man, culture counts.
Yeah, 100%.
Off the field, before I let you go, what are we doing? You were talking about Game of Thrones, NBA playoffs. You into that right now?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird not having LeBron in it.
Not having Bron in it.
It's weird not having Dwayne Wade in the league anymore.
That's my favorite player. So I was, you know, he's been my favorite player since 2004. So I'm sitting there like, oh, I just wanted them to make the playoffs so bad.
They were so close.
They were so close. Towards the end of the year, they ran out of gas. But yeah, not having LeBron's weird. But it's nice to see, you know, new rising stars.
Yeah.
Kyrie's killing it. Giannis is unbelievable.
That's going to be a good
obviously.
series. Bucks Celtics is going to be a good series.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. Game of Thrones, you know, I personally, you know, this is my personal opinion, but it's literally the best show I've ever, I think, on TV.
Ever? What's your top 3 shows? Like, what did it surpass?
Well, this is my opinion. I'm weird. So I like some kind of weird shows. Me and my cousins, our favorite show growing up was Monk. It's about this detective who's has obsessive compulsive disorder, but he's he's a genius, like the best detective, but he's just quirky and funny, and so that's one of my favorite shows ever growing up. I mean, I used to watch. Oh, there's so many. I used to watch Dexter. That was really good.
Dexter was good. They just kind of jumped the shark at the end, but it was good.
Yeah, it was definitely weird at the end, but that was really good. I mean, I can't.
Sopranos.
I never watched The Sopranos.
Come on, Justin. See,
I was thinking about. I almost started it.
Yeah, please do it. It's right now. That's my number 1 show.
Okay.
Ever.
Yeah,
I mean, Breaking Bad. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
I almost started that too.
Okay.
But okay, so
it's a long off-season.
I definitely want to watch Breaking Bad because a lot of people have said great things about that.
And that thing just kind of picks up. Okay. Like each season gets better and better and better.
Okay, so definitely gonna watch Breaking Bad.
The Wire.
I haven't seen The Wire either.
We gotta I want to write some of these things down for you,
because
man.
I didn't really watch like shows like that growing up. I played a lot of video games. Yeah, I didn't watch TV that much. So.
Yeah,
I mean, other than like cartoons and stuff, but I can go on and on about those. I used to watch those nonstop, but yeah,
it's good. Well, no, look, listen, Game of Thrones is picking up too. What, like 4 episodes left?
Yes, there's 4 episodes left, and this next episode is going to be the most epic episode in the history of TV. Mark it down.
It's gonna be must watch. Justin Jackson, LA Chargers. Justin Jackson, the ball carrier.
Yeah,
Northwestern University, man. Go Cats.
Man. Go Cats for sure.
And that's going to do it for episode 24 of the Backstage Chargers podcast presented by Toyota. A big thanks to Justin Jackson for joining me, and of course, thanks to you all for listening. I hope to see most of you on Thursday night at the Santa Monica Pier, 4 to 9 p.m. for the Chargers draft party. It's going to be an amazing night. You can get your free tickets on Chargers.com. Alums are going to be there. LaDainian Tomlinson, Kasim Osgood, Marcellus Wiley, and 6 current players are going to be in the mix as well. Denzel Perryman, Adrian Phillips, Desmond King, Austin Eckler, Michael Badgley, and Mike Williams. 4 to 9 p.m., Santa Monica Pier this Thursday night. Get your free tickets on Chargers.com. Thanks so much for listening, and until next time, I'm Chris Hayre.